Today is day one post shorn. Yeah. that word still sounds weird. But there you go. So this is the light. Okay. And then you can see these little dark patches in case you didn't see the video that I did yesterday. And then if you look closely, all like the smooth spots, like I don't have like fuzzies in some areas. And no, I thought it was kind of ridiculous. I need to get I am eventually going to learn some editing skills here. But the most important thing for me right now is just to document this. I'll improve as I go. So what I'm doing today is, so as you can see, so I do have like some smooth areas. And then there's been things that I've done regularly over the course. So I'm going to have to, as part of like this video diary vlog, we're going to start like with present day, and then eventually I'll go back to like all the different remedies. And when I say remedies, I mean like natural herbal remedies and stuff like that I've done over the course of my life. Right now I have a hot mess. Yes, I'm staying in a hotel room, but there's my hot mess. This was the drink that I had this morning. So in this drink, the measurements are upside down, but it's about like 18 ounces or so. And then, so like for the sake of but now I broke my fast. So the sake of, and it is only 8:45 and I already had a number of food items. But so in that drink I had, I put carrot powder, beet powder, pea protein, and tomato powder. So, and the tomato powder I just got in this morning from Amazon. This does have salt, so if you're concerned about your salt intake, then this might not be the thing for you. But for 1 tablespoon, actually the serving size per the package is half an ounce, but half an ounce is 1 tablespoon, because 2 tablespoons in an ounce. 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons in an ounce. So if half an ounce is going to be 1 tablespoon. It's really confusing. I make things more confusing sometimes than what they need to be. But it's just to offer the education, right? The enlightenment. And so the sodium content is 380 milligrams, which would equal 17% of your total, the RDA. But of course, if you exercise or if you even have like low blood pressure like I do, sodium isn't necessarily a bad thing for you. It might even be helpful for some diets, again, depending on what your particular dietary needs are. So back to this and back to the drink. So I did... and I added a little dash of cayenne. So I had pea protein. That's for the sake of increasing my protein, because I know nutrition, historically, I've not been a huge meat eater. It has nothing to do with consciousness or anything like that. It's just a personal preferences. It's not, if I want it, I'll eat it. But, it's not the thing that I gravitate to. Like, say if there's like a setting, like, buffet or whatever, meat is probably not going to be the first thing that I go for. I'm probably going to go like for the rice and the grains, and not fruit so much. I can totally live without fruit. But, and then like meat would be like a last item, unless it's like on a total craving. Then I'm just like, yeah, then I'll have meat, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Excuse me. Sorry. But as far as today goes, and yes, this is how I talk. I'm all over the place. Okay. But eventually it all comes together. So with the drink, so I did pea protein. I did 3 tablespoons of that. And I'm still playing around like with measurements and stuff like that, because what I'm looking at is I'm focusing on my dietary needs. So again, one day I'll get fancy and I'll be able to do like dual screens and stuff like that. But this is like, I paid to upgrade on the MyNetDiary. So on the MyNetDiary app, there's a free version. On the free version, it's amazing. But once I started looking at the free version, and then especially where I'm at right now with my, obviously there's some kind of situation. I think it's probably like a nutritional deficiency more than anything. And, because like with the learning and information and stuff that's available out there, and I'm just like, I don't suffer. According to the acupuncturist, and I visited with different oh my gosh, it's probably the cayenne that I just had, which is actually, cayenne is good for sinuses. And then also like during the winter time to like help bring your internal core temperature up. I do believe believe that it has levels of vitamin C, like relative, like for the calorie content. But anyways, aside from the point. So, like with acupuncturists that I have visited over time, they say, oh, that, like the chi is low in the liver, kidney, and spleen, because like, contrary to, I'm not so familiar with Western medicine nor biology, nor physiology. Actually, I know a whole bunch. I know a whole lot about nothing. And so the importance of the organs are different. The primary organs, or their order of importance, are different in TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, than in Western medicine, where from what I see, from what I observe, that the heart seems to be the most important organ in Western medicine. I don't know, because again, I don't know about Western medicine, but that's what it seems to appear to me based on the information that's available to us. And then so like, oh, heart health, like all the talk is about heart health, right? And we'll talk about cholesterol later, because actually fats are very important nutritional requirement, like for brain activity. Like, I don't know like what the exact percentage is, but I think it's like over half of your brain, or like 60% of your brain, is made of fat. So you need fats, for healthy fats, of course, like for biological functions, for brain activity, biological functions. It does help with neurological activity. And that's why the keto diet, I believe that the keto diet initially came about as a means for, I think it was like either Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, but the commonality between the two, whichever one of those two that it was designed for, is that they are neurological in nature. So I guess you could say that healthy fats act like as a lubricant, like make things simple, right? For as complicated as I like to make things sometimes, like let's make things simple. And so like, when you're lubricated, things work, they smooth slowly, right? So if you look at your body as an electrical system, then that kind of makes sense. Keep everything lubricated. There's not going to be any misfires and everything's going to work great. But back to the drink. So I'm playing around as too far as the, and eventually I'll get it right, to see what like my nutritional requirements are. And then based on eating according to my nutritional requirements, which I have done before, generally, but like, I haven't been like, I was like, for a while I would document, but that was a long while ago. I would document what I eat, but it was documenting what I ate for the purpose of, say, like mainly for aesthetics, because that's when I was really, how do you say, on point about keeping like my body fat percentage. There was a certain look that I was trying to achieve, during that period of my life. And so during that period of my life, the thing that I was most concerned about was like a protein consumption. And of course, like total calories as well, right? And then so I've generally had healthy eating, but the thing is that again, I don't gravitate to meat. So now that I'm tracking everything, so I did upgrade on the MyNetDiary app to the, to where I can see all so they would be like your nutrients, all nutrient information that's usually available like on a food package, like your vitamin A, C, D, E, K, all your B vitamins and your minerals. And so I don't know, because again, I just paid for that this morning, so I'm still exploring with it. But I was like, again, I didn't want to wait, or don't want to create any more obstacles for myself. So even if it means doing it old school right now for a little bit, which is again this little fancy pad and pen and paper, then that's how it needs to be. And so I'm going through, and what it has allowed me is to look, because otherwise on the free version, it's very informational. I'm like super happy with this app. I don't think I've ever paid for an app in my life, except for like maybe like once or twice. I think one of them was for the Dave Ramsey, like the $0, the every dollar app. When I was doing like my debt pay down. And then the other one I think is that I did the My Secret, the secret, that Rhonda Byrne one for a while with the affirmations and stuff like that. I didn't care for it. So anyways, right now, what the benefit of the paid app, and so like depending if you're trying to get just maybe say like for diet, like weight and stuff like that, maybe like track your water consumption, for general diet. So it would track, the free version includes what is it, the fat, protein, what I guess like the main four ones on a food label. So the calories, fat, protein, and carbs. Yeah, I think those are it. And then, but on the free version, on the upgraded version, I can track like a particular levels again of those, all the vitamins. So the A, C, D, E, K, the B's, and then the minerals, and not trace elements though, because I guess trace elements are, I don't know, trace elements or trace elements. I don't know. I don't know much about trace elements, or actually, again, I know nothing about nothing. But I started with the free version of the app just this past Sunday. So today's Friday. So I've been logging. Actually, I started it on Sunday night, like for what knows what time it was. I did it like in going back in retro, like, for the day. So I was like, oh, but I kind of had been writing it down, right? And then so I was just like, you know what? So I tracked, post day, I guess you could say, after the fact on Sunday. And then so like I started on Monday using the app, logging my consumption by the app, and I am logging every single thing. If there's like a bite of quinoa that I took in there, guess what? I'm logging a tablespoon in there. And then that's for accountability and just for accurate reflection as to what I'm actually consuming in terms of calories. But it's not so important to me right now. Or I guess it could be, because I am above my weight that I feel comfortable with for what I'm used to, for my standards, I guess, my personal standards and well-being. I don't apply my standards to other people, but for my personal well-being and sense of like normalcy for me, I'm about at least 20 pounds over. 20 pounds, like 25 pounds over. So anyways, but with this, so like I created, I'm sure there is a weekly analysis and stuff like that. But again, I'm like pen and paper is like the easiest way for me to do it right away. So I'm already noticing some tendencies here in the diets. Like, I have no problem getting my calcium in, surprisingly, because actually I went to Walgreens the other day and I was looking, because again, I was just like, you know what? I don't have the patience to wait anymore. I was like, right now I'm just going to start doing it. And then I'll refine to better quality of product like over time. But right now, my main goal is just to start consuming the necessary like nutrients and elements and stuff like that, so that I don't deplete myself any further as time goes on. Because I'm like, you can think about something, but I was like, unless you do it, all that thinking and knowing, you really don't know. And that's what my like little motto is now. I was like, do we really know? Did we really learn something if we're not applying it, And so with that, I chastise myself. So this isn't necessarily judgment that I place upon other people, but it's something that I remind myself. I was like, can I really claim that I have learned something unless that I apply it in my own life, like religiously, to where it's effective, that thing is effective. And so, what I'm noticing is that, and even though it's only like, I'm 2 hours into the paid version, because I was trying to do this yesterday, but I had some credit card issue on the subscriptions or whatever. So they had to verify, then I was declined. But anyway, so I was like, this morning, I'm like in my sleep. I woke up like before 5 o'clock. And I was like, oh my God, yay, I get to do the free version. Let's hope that it works today. Right. And so, oh my gosh, I just saw like a little leftover hair strand. Look, I am so glad. I was like, I don't have to worry about any hair shedding. And you know what? I'm doing this video. Can you see I have like castor oil all over my face right here? And then so like I did castor oil in my belly button last night with a little drop of what do I have? Tea tree oil, because I have some essential oils on the way right now. And so what is it? So I also did some castor oil last night on my hair, and then some of this. So I'm like doing different things I can, if you can see that, as I am. It's called rice water. So I'm not promoting this or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you. I literally got this yesterday, like with the clippers and stuff like that. This was one of the things that I got, and it attracted me because it says forbidden black rice. I'm like, what is forbidden black rice? I'm going to have to look that up. But it has biotin. So normally you would consume, biotin's like notorious. Everyone's like, biotin, check your biotin levels, like for hair growth or whatever. Saw palmetto. I know saw palmetto right off the bat when I saw palmetto. It's a DHT blocker. I don't know what the frick heck DHT is, but I think it takes your hair growth from like out of the androgen phase, which is I think the growing phase, to the teflovin, whatever that one is. It starts with the T, teflovin. When everyone talks about that something effluvium, telefin, whatever. And so, but the thing is that DHT, and I've been knowing about saw palmetto since freaking like over 10 years, but the thing, I'm hesitant to take it as a female because it does something with your, with the hormones, something with the testosterone. And so I know something definitely about testosterone. And I was like, once I start reviewing and reading about that item again, but I knew right off the bat, and I was like, okay, so I've been hesitant to take saw palmetto as an internal, but I was like, if it's topical, and I know that the scalp still does absorb to a degree because the skin is the largest organ. So yes, it is going to absorb, like whatever you apply on it topically, to a certain extent. And I was like, okay, but I'm okay with the idea of applying it topically, because I don't think that the amounts are going to be that significant where it's going to affect my hormone levels as much. And especially since there's a combination of other herbs and stuff that I have been taking for now, we're going like on a month and a half. But even before then, I've always taken herbs, but basically like estrogen regulating hormones. And so, but back to my drink this morning. So I did 3 tablespoons of protein back with my log here. So now that I'm actually documenting and seeing day by day by day by day, and you can go like on the paid version of this app, you can go, you're like vitamin A for today, vitamin A for yesterday, the day before, the day before. I have no problem getting vitamin A, but I think that's probably because of my preference again for the vegetables. So I get calcium, plenty of calcium, for the most part, the vitamin D, now that I'm in the sun here, and with access to fresh vegetables. So there's some vitamins that I know that I just through and I think it's through the vegetable consumption that I have no problem in satisfying those requirements, but it's mainly the B vitamins. And so that's what I'm going to do. And actually, you know what? Back to the D thing. D is, I had a little bit of floaty there. A, C, D, E, and K are fats water soluble. Fat, sorry. And I was like, and you have to go through A, C, D. I know vitamin C is a water soluble. I don't think that the other ones are A, D, E, and K. I believe that those are non-soluble. So meaning that you can reach, yes, that would be right, that you can reach toxicity levels if consumed too much, because they have a tendency to store within the body, particularly the liver. So you have to be careful of those. Vitamin C, on the other hand, I believe is water soluble. So then it flushes out. So you can consume and it's not going to stay within the body. But I also learned, which I didn't know, surprisingly, after all this time and all these years, that protein is, you're like, duh, basic information, but obviously not to me. I had never thought about that, because I'm like, again, my needs before were different than what they are now. Is that protein is not, is water soluble. So like there's no protein stores in the body. So you have to, and I know this is like, I don't know how this escaped me, because I was like, obviously if you don't consume protein, and that's why bodybuilders or, those looking to put on mass or whatever are like so concerned about their, or maintain size, are so concerned about their protein intake. But I never realized that it was water soluble. I don't know again how I didn't put that together. It kind of is like obvious now, but, so on this morning's drink, so according to my dietary needs here that I've been noticing, I was like, hey, you know what? Like one thing on each of the days that I'm missing, I believe is like, copper, manganese, chromium, and molybdenum. I can't even pronounce that one, but we'll call it okay, molybdenum. So where it has been lacking consistently since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because last night I typed in today's meal. You can do that. You can enter your meals in advance on the MyNetDiary. And so I'm like, I have like zero consumption for any one of those days. And we're talking about micrograms. Micrograms are like, because you have, I forget what international units, but you have milligram, and then it's microgram, and then you have like your trace. So whatever. So what that is leading me to do is to, with the items that I do have available to me and that I have recently purchased. And again, I have been living out of a hotel room, and I'm going to probably be living out of a hotel room until I return to Alaska in mid-February. So I have to cook differently. Without eating fast food, I don't eat fast food. And I'm like, that's just because I'm living this way. I'm like, I eat very well, and I eat fairly balanced, probably balanced than even most people that have a full kitchen. So I got, and I'm not saying that it's the best of quality, but it's the best of quality within my budget that I can afford given my personal situation right now. So like, I bought tomato powder. I got, I'm not saying that it's the highest. Again, you have to take in mind as to budget, but don't let your budget keep you from doing certain things. So then I got like, kale flakes, spinach, and these are like dehydrated items, because what I've been doing is that I have a little cooker. It's like maybe a 3-cup cooker, and I'm making everything in there. I'll have, it's a little collapsible water kettle, but you can boil eggs, noodles in there. I make it happen in there. I was like, I make quinoa, I make rice. It's not a rice cooker, but I was like, I make it happen. I just reset the settings. I'll share that on a different time for people that might be in a compromised living situation. I was like that. Because before we have so many options available to us, and I was like, a compromised living situation doesn't mean that that it should affect, your eating shouldn't be as affected anymore as maybe once upon a time, because we have all these items available to us. And yes, I do prefer to eat fresh, but the reality of it is that I'm like, my belly can only hold so much, and I don't want to be eating all the time. I don't want to make food my focus. My focus is my health, and I'm eating with the purpose of repairing my health. So just to give myself a kickstart this morning, beet is good for iron building. It introduces oxygen. I know that for sure. And then also, actually, what's that? Niacin? It's something with the nitric oxide. That's what it is, like something with an N. And so it has a high quantities of nitric oxide, which is also like if you're into working out and stuff like that, because it is delivering oxygen to the muscles. Don't believe anything I say. I don't know anything about physiology or biology, but from the gist of it, of what I remember is that introduces oxygen into the muscles. So then that it actually reduces like your recovery time. And while you're at the gym, it'll increase your performance. So increase your performance while decreasing your recovery time. Maybe that's why I'm such a badass when I go, I get gangster with that shit. You should have seen me yesterday, y'all. Man, I was gangster at the gym. And so I did 3 tablespoons of the pea powder. I should probably have increased it to 7, but I was like, come on. I'm like, it has to also be palatable. And so that's just according to my nutritional requirements. So I got the Anthony's pea protein, and in some future life, I'm going to make this fancy. So, and forgive my mess, because I do have projects going on. I have all my vitamins laid out and stuff like that, because I have to create a system that works well, not only now, but going forward for when I do return to Alaska. Because when I'm out there, I'm like working like 80 hours a week. So I need to make it simple, pick up and go, and have it be the same thing every day, so that I can do it without thinking, and knowing that whatever needs to happen for me during that period. And this isn't what I'm going to be doing in 3 or 4 months from now. This is like everything goes through cycles, because again, you have to watch out for, or be mindful of toxicity with certain items. So the pea protein, this one here, and I was complaining to my mom, sorry, I got like peas on there or whatever. My little collection of powders, I'll share that y'all with y'all later. But and I'm like, okay, is this the healthiest thing? No, because ultimately it's in a powder form. It's not in a natural form. But I'm like, come on. I was like, you know what? Honestly, peas are not my favorite vegetable. I love vegetables. I can eat green beans like a mofo. Like green beans all day, every day, straight out of the can is my favorite way to do it. I don't care how tacky that sounds, okay? Because I'm like, if you would have known my former fancy self, I'm like, hell no, I never would have admitted to that. But oh my God, you get the green beans, throw them in a little bowl, just like that. Don't heat them, like canned green beans. With a little bit of, sesame oil, some cracked salt and pepper, bomba. And so, but with this pea protein, so for the calories, and I even wrote it here because I've been cutting down on these bags seem to be so like voluminous, right? So per 1 tablespoon, you have 40 calories, 40, caloric calories, kcals. And then for 8 grams of protein. So then that means of the 40 calories, if every gram of protein has, 4 calories, the majority of this is going to be in the calories that you're consuming are derived from protein. And so one of those grams is fat. So then there you go. That's your 40 calories. So for my nutritional needs, because back to my tracking and stuff like that, I am deficient on protein every single day. I'm like less than like half of the RDA. And I think we can go through RDAs and stuff later. So I'm like creating my little to-do list as I do this. I'm going to have to watch this video again. So I can actually make a video for each one of these points that I'm talking on, because I have so much to offer. And, so since the protein requirement is an issue, satisfying my protein RDA for my age, 50 minus, not 50 plus, not yet, but I will be. I'm kind of excited about that. It's kind of weird. So I did that. And then this bad girl mop. bad girl. I deserve a hand slapping again. I cut down the package, but this is beetroot powder. I said bad girl because first of all, I have it open. You're supposed to have this sealed. And I don't know why they deliver the beet in this color. You're supposed to keep things like this like out of in the dark. But I figure I've had it exposed to light already. I was like, fuck it, whatever. It's already lost its nutrient because it can, I think, what is it, photosynthesize? Something like that. You get the idea. But some of the items or nutritional value can be depleted by being exposed to light. So I did pea protein, 3 tablespoons to help meet my nutritional requirements. And that's again, according to the logging that I did in my the MyNetDiary app, because it's I am consuming protein later on in the day. So, but this was to make up for the deficit. And so I did three tablespoons of this. By the 1 tablespoon of the beet powder to get my blood going. And actually, I love beet powder. I wish I could drink it every day, but I mean, over time, again, as with anything, not great. And then, so I did a tablespoon of carrot powder. Love carrot powder too. I wish I could drink it every day. And I'll do different combinations of the things that I have. And I have these amazing, I have to get up my little box. I already went through another one. These little packets for my lifestyle are amazing. So this is how I made my drink this morning. So where's the, okay, so 3 tablespoons pea protein, 1 tablespoon beet powder, tease, 1 tablespoon of carrot powder. And then I did this for taste. 1 packet. It claims 0 calories. I say bullshit because I was like, if you squeeze a royal lime, it's going to have, even if it's just like a trace calorie, I was like, but the deal says 0, whatever, 0 calories. But if you're traveling like myself, and then this is good, make it happen. And then I just added water. Oh, and I forgot. So I did that. And then I added, because that carrot juice and I can make that all sorts of ways. The carrot powder, the beet powder with this tomato, with some like cayenne or whatever, or you throw some cilantro in there, or parsley, or whatever your body needs, depending on what your goals are. Like if you need like extra cleansing or whatever, you're trying to do like a heavy metal detox, throw some cilantro in there, and to help flush you out. But also, it doesn't need to be painful. Like adjust it to what your taste is. Throw in some little cracked pepper. Oh my God, that's like a virgin Bloody Mary in there. I was like, damn, that fucking shit's good. Man, I could drink this all day, but because of the sodium content, because I'd like to add, like, depending on what I have available, I have to be mindful, keeping everything to a minimum. And I'll say that often because that's exactly what I'm thinking about all the time. I'm like, when I go back, say to Alaska, I was like, I'm going to have to either consume these items before I return or ship these items to myself. And, we have to weigh the cost benefit, right? So I do try to buy items that are as small as a package as possible, but still sufficient to satisfy the amount that I need for that cycle of food or nutritional items that I'm going through. So the drink was really good. I wish I could drink it like 2-3 times a day, but then it would have like too much sodium. And even so, how do you say, I have a tendency to overconsume on vitamin A, and I don't even know why that is. I've had a lifelong love for carrots, baby carrots. And so you do have to, since I suspect that I do have like maybe some sort of liver deficiency, vitamin A and liver deficiency, you can tell by my palms, they're kind of orange-ish, like in real life they are. Yeah, they're like a little rust color or whatever. You see like right there, like on the pads of my fingers, that can be a sign of like the high presence of like a carotenoids, or like a buildup where there's something that your liver is not able to break down. So either I'm consuming overly high amounts, or my liver is not functioning properly, or a combination of both. So because of that, with the carotenoids or carotenoids, whatever. Carotenoids. Then the beet powder, I believe is high in them. So is the carrot powder, and so is tomato powder. So for as much as I love this drink, I can't have it all the time. And that's why I've been having it now that I got these items, and I'll probably have it maybe every other day, every third day, but not every day. So, that's what I had this morning. I'm really excited about this. Actually, I did with this little thing, I felt like some heat come on, but I think it has some cayenne in here or something in there. But I'll be sharing. So for anyone, if this reaches anybody, hola. if this reaches anybody, just make the best of it. You know, as far as this, I thought I was going to be like super traumatized. And I'm like, you know what? No, because I've been wearing hair wraps already for how long? The only thing is that I thought it was stupid. I started saying earlier, I think, is that I was like, I don't need to be watching no videos to learn how to shave my head. Apparently I do, because look at this shit. It's fuzzy, and it's fuzzy back here. I probably look like a patched up skunk. And then so so apparently I probably should have had my mom help me. And when I last saw her, because now it looks like I have this little Mongolian thing here going on, right? Oh, the sage one. And so, but it's not as bad. And I was just like, it's not as bad. The only thing I'm gonna miss are like the little wispies that would come out of like, you know, when I would be working out with my little bandana or whatever. And so, but you know, whatever. But this is all in health, right? I'm all health, love, and light.